Hey YouTube, Mike the Tankless guy here. How we all doing today? I hope we all had a safe and productive few weeks. Yeah, I had a little health issue, and I also had two brand new air conditioners put into my house, which is my other studio, and I had to put my whole garage, pretty much my whole garage back together, and upstairs back together where they had to take it out of a closet. So, all right, today's video, I'm actually very excited about that I can finally do a video like this. I know all of you that have watched me and subscribed to me, I tell you when I get like, you know, either a bunch of questions or what is my like number one, number two, number three question out there. But this product right here, I have probably talked to, in the 4 years, 300 people and had them buy and get this or install it themselves. It's a phenomenal product that actually helps you in your home and the tankless heater. Now, what you see here, it is the older version of it. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the rep, the Taco rep, to send me the new version of this, and we ended up installing a tankless and removing one of these that we put into a home quite a few years ago. So I'll explain just the quick difference in it, which is just the color, and then we'll go over this. What this is, it's what we call the Taco demand pump system. They also make, and the original one was Metland out of Australia, pump system. Right now it's called the Taco Genie, and it's called the Taco Genie, the 008 CT, and then USK. It's under sink kit, okay? They also make a flange kit, but we'll go over that. So here, if you want to take some screenshots quick, and we'll go over each one of these in a second. All right, basically what this is, it is a pump that actually has a built-in sensor or aquastat, and we'll zoom in, and it's this wire right here, which goes into this pipe right here, which is on the hot side, okay? And what this is used for, it will go underneath, again, like you do the thermal bypass valve. It'll go underneath the most troublesome sink. Remember, when you go to install a tankless or one of these pieces, you're going to ask the customer, what is your most troublesome sink? Don't go with the furthest sink, because the furthest sink might be a guest bathroom that they very rarely use, and they love to cook, and their most troublesome is the kitchen. Now, like in my business here in Florida, 95%, 90 to 95%, it's the master bedroom all the way at the opposite end of the house where the water heater and where we're putting the tankless in. So that's where we'll put the thermal bypass valve. But in a lot of applications, the people say, no, we do a lot of cooking, we want it under the sink. So just don't assume, ask them. So what this thing does is it does pretty much the same thing like a recirculating tankless does, is that it will move water from the hot into the cold, but it'll do it by either a wired button, a remote button, or a motion sensor. So the kit, the difference in what you see here is that the new one is green, the Taco green. So if you're familiar with the Taco pump company, all of their products are like a dark green. So that's what this is. But this is a Taco, and back then they did make it in this brownish color. The Metland, which is still available, is black in color, but it's the same pump. It's made by Taco, okay? So you're gonna get this pump. you're going to get a small, just a button, like a doorbell button. We had the remote on there, so the button was gone. But you could use a standard button. You could use a standard doorbell button like you see right here. You're going to get these 2 half-inch braided hoses, and there are half-inch national pipe thread. And you're going to get these fittings right here. And I'll push this thing to the side, and I'll zoom in. Okay. It is a copper T with a male adapter, and then a compression. All right, so it's like 5/8 OD compression, made up onto one end, loose on the other, and then just a piece of copper sticking out. So your installation is going to vary, of course, depending on the piping that's coming out of the house, out of the wall. Now, in instance, you could have CPVC that has a compression valve. You can take the valve off, screw that on, put the nut from onto here, and then make up your speedy, which will then give you your connections. You can actually make these. You can make them out of Uponor, you can make them out of PEX, you can make them out of CPVC. You could turn them. You don't necessarily have to use what is given. We haven't. We have actually made some to make it a little bit more compact under the sink. And as you notice, the trap would be right here. It fits perfectly under it. It's got 4 screw holes. You screw it right down to the bottom, and it is pretty much silent when you activate it. So again, you're going to get the T. It's all made up sweated. A short piece with a male adapter, a dead end piece, and then a piece with a compression, which is 5/8 OD, which is good for 1/2-inch copper, 1/2-inch CPVC, 1/2-inch PEX. Just remember, if you're going to use PEX, you have to put that stiffener inside of it when you make it up. Or you could just make it out of PEX. So, what happens is when the customer comes in, you're going to either drill a 5/8-inch hole, push the button in. You get a lot of the gray wire. The gray wire comes with 2 sets of wires made up into the electronics already, and then you get a 4-foot plug. It's 110 volts, and it's a 1/25 horsepower. So you get a lot of the gray wire, because that you probably could snake up, and then this would be your cabinet door. When you open it up, you drill it right into the side. The people would push the button. It would turn the pump on. The pump runs on an aquastat. It shuts down around 105 degrees. So it's moving water from the hot back into the cold, and it shuts down at 105 degrees. It will not turn back on until the temperature drops down to about 70. And then you can reactivate it. Now, it comes 3 different ways for activation. Again, like I said, it comes with a wired button. You can buy this separate, and it is the number 554-7. Again, all of this will be in the description below. And that comes with this remote receiver and then a transmitter, which is basically just a wireless doorbell button. It takes one of those little small batteries like that, the 3-volt small battery, and it's got 3M tape. And what we do is we affix it to the side of where the light switches are when we come in the bathroom. When someone walks in and needs to use the sink or the shower or the tub, they push the button. The button, then the receiver receives the signal, turns the pump on. The pump will run, depending on the size of the house, say up to a minute, and then shut down. When they turn the faucet on, they have pretty much instant hot water. You're going to do the same thing with the wired button. They're going to open the door, they're going to push the button, they'll close it, They wait their minute, hot water. They have a motion sensor where you walk in, it senses you walk into the bathroom, and it turns the pump on. But it's going to turn on when you go to use the toilet. So that's unnecessary electric, that. So a lot of people really don't go for that. I've only done one out of the hundreds we've done. They also make a hardwired button, which is number 554-3. So if you're actually, if this is a brand new home, you could put multiple buttons in so say you put it at the farthest bathroom, but then there's the kitchen's in between, and there might be another bathroom, and then the unit, the tankless or the water heater. Well, they can push a button in that first bathroom, and water it circulates through the main trunk line just like a tankless does with a thermal bypass valve. So it'll get you faster water at, say, that first bathroom. Say you're at the kitchen, you push a button, be faster. But then it's very fast at the end where this is, because it's doing it right to the pipes. All right? So they also make a version flanged, 3/4 inch flanged. This unit can be mounted. Say you have, an older condensing tankless that doesn't have a built-in circulating pump, but you have a dedicated return line. You can mount this on the dedicated return line, with your check valves and your bleeders and stuff like that, and have buttons inside the house. Push that button with this receiver outside, and it will then circulate water through the return line back into the tankless. So you could use this instead of using the GTK Grumpfers pump, you could use one of these pumps, because it's 304 stainless steel, same like the other pumps, and it will turn on and off, and it has its built-in aquastat. So you don't need to have a separate aquastat, a clamp-on aquastat, a smart plug. You just push a button and it'll turn the pump on in multiple locations, and that's why you can buy the number 554-8, which is the extra buttons for the unit. Now, the one major drawback that I find with this, and it's not the product, is that you need a 110 volt outlet put under the sink. Now, in, I would say, 99% of all the installs that we have done, we had a plug, say, either up here above the counter or on the side. So either myself or an electrician, we take out the old plug, cut a hole somewhere either here, or put the plug over here on the side of the cabinet. We just fish a wire down from that plug to this plug, and Bob's your uncle. We have a plug. A few times, we actually had to have something run, like somewhere from the bathroom. The electrician had to run one down. But it's great because now it gives the homeowner an outlet under the sink too, besides having the plug pumped in. So the unit, they make a 006, a 008, and a 0011. So a 006 is good for about 50 feet of pipe. A 008 is good for 100 feet. The 0011 is good for more than 100 feet. And the 0011 is the 3/4 inch flanged one that you would use, say, if you had something at the tankless. It does not void the warranty on a tankless. Now, I have gone to dozens of tanklesses, especially external ones, that outside the house, that they actually that had a dedicated return line, and they actually wired and piped in a pump directly under the tankless, a standard Taco pump. That wasn't even the bronze model. It was just like a 007, which is used for heating. And this thing circulated water, made that tankless run pretty much 24 hours a day when this was firing. It was turning on the tankless because it was moving water into the tankless, back out, and the tankless thought that someone had to force it on. And I've had tanklesses burn out in under 3 years because it was running. So this unit, piped down at the most troublesome fixture, will not void the warranty on a tankless heater because it's made to shut off on a built-in aquastat. And you don't have to mount any rubber underneath this. We've done 2 different versions where we tried it, where we took some neoprene or we took rubber bushings and mounted them. It makes no difference in the sound. It is very, very, very quiet. No one has ever complained that the sound of it was loud. Now, you can put multiple ones of these inside of houses. So, like, you cannot put 2 thermal bypass valves. You can only put 1. Again, at the troublesome fixture. I have done 3 inside of 1 large home. We have done a bunch of 2s, and then of course just a single. Excuse me. But in a home, the heater was in the middle of the home, and we put one on the one far side, the other far side, and upstairs, and that gave them perfect hot water throughout the house. It was a large home. I think it was about 6 bathrooms, a 6-bathroom home in Ponte Vedra, and we put 3 of them in. And then we did multiple doubles, and then everyone else is single. I would say we have probably close to 400 of these installed. But when I get a question on, hey, I have a non-condensing either Rinnai or Navion unit, and I want to install a pump with a thermal bypass valve. Well, you can't do that because it confuses the tankless. Any tankless that's not designed to have a built-in recirc or the HE plus pump system, you cannot put excuse me, you cannot put a thermal bypass valve in because the tankless doesn't know about it. So they would message me, and immediately I would message them back, call me. Now, this is a reason I changed the channel, was because I wanted to be able to show other products that just complemented the tankless heaters, and not from the manufacturer. And I believe that this product is one of the best products out there. Now, on a new installation, if the person called me and said, oh, I got a water heater and I want to put some, no. You're going to put a recirculating tankless in. You're going to put a tankless that has a recirc thing inside of the tankless. But they'll call me, and like I said, and I got a non-condensing tankless, and I want to put a thermal bypass valve in a pump like you show. Now, call me. So they call me that night, and I'll be like, look, you can't do it. And they, right away, you can hear the depression. Yeah, I mean, if you were looking at them, you could see the face drop. But I say, but there is something you could do. And they lighten up. And then I explain this. And I tell them to go online and look at it. And they're like, wow. And then I explain, and then I send them photos of installations that I have. Now I have a video. And they immediately will message me back either in a day, I bought it, or I'm getting it installed, and they love it. So it is a great, great product. Again, you do need a 110 volt outlet, so it's not like plug and play. You need, this is pretty easy. Again, like I said, you could make these fittings. You could have them go this way. It doesn't matter. They just give it to you for convenience. But you can redesign the fitting as long as you have the pipe that's coming out of the wall to a T that goes to the pump, back through the pump out into the cold water side, and then a valve to shut off your faucet. Bob's your uncle. You could do it any way. And like I said, I have made it because we have put these under like kitchens that have like pull-out drawers that like for a garbage pail or for their cleaning supplies. You got to watch that. You see, you got to be a plumber and an interior designer too, because you got to watch the layout of what these people have underneath the sink so that you can accommodate what they're looking for and what they have so that they don't have to omit something. Okay? You're looking at around $700, depending on where you buy it from. And the remote is about $130. I've seen there's multiple different prices. I'll tell you this right now. Amazon is extremely expensive. I know. I've looked it up. Go to supplyhouse.com, Big Frog. They all have them. Or your local supply house, like your Ferguson or your Win Nelson or something like that. Go to your local supply house and find. They do have the system. Now, most of them are stocking the 006. Unless your house is this big, go with the 008. Go with the larger one. And then if you're going to do it on a dedicated return line to your tankless, you can go with the 11. Okay? So, again, great product. You're getting the pump. You're getting 2 braided stainless steel hoses. They're very stiff, but they're very nice and easy to flex. Oh, one little pointer. There's washers inside of these. Just be careful. These nuts like to fall back. And you can lose the washer. You can forget about it. You put it in, you have a leak. So what we always did was we put like I said, you learn from experience. Well, that was my experience. We put tape around here so that the nut will not slide back. So a little pointer if you're doing the installation. So you got your pump, you got your 2 braided hoses, you have your pre-assembled T male adapter, 5/8 compression union, and then a ball piece, and you're gonna get it's just one of these like gold lighted little doorbell button. The thing that that single little button that you need like a 5/8 inch hole, and it pops. It's got little spring clips. It'll pop right in the hole. Then you just fish your wire through. Your gray wire, it's a 2-wire. It's a red and a black. That goes to here. Then you have a 3-wire here, which is a red, black, and green, which goes to your receiver. The receiver actually has AA batteries underneath it. You have your AA battery that go in here. And it just clips right back in. So you do have some maintenance, and then you have the little tiny camera battery right there. The back broke, so when we took it out, so the back actually stays on the wall. It has some really good 3M tape on it, pre-made. You just peel it, stick it. It also has screw holes and mollies that you can actually affix it to the wall, and then this thing clips in, and then it actually just clicks right out, so you could change the battery. And they go about once a year. That's what my customers were telling me, about once a year. All right, so everything will be in the description below. The pricing, like I said, I'm only going to put some basic pricing in because I don't excuse me. The pricing that I've noticed is there is a big difference in the pricing. All right, YouTube. So my school has officially opened. For those of you that follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn, I actually had my largest class come 2 Saturdays ago. I was supposed to have 6 guys. 8 guys ended up showing up from Schneider Schneider Heating and Air's plumbing division. I have a bunch more that are coming for training, and it's a 6-hour course. Message me. I'll have my email below. Message me. I'll give you what the rate is for the training. It's 6 hours. You do have to get here to Florida, but it is very well worth it because you're going to get the complete, proper installation procedure for a tankless heater, including piping, troubleshooting of the piping, flushing, troubleshooting of the unit after flushing, gas, venting, venting of concentric, venting of the PVC, and the proper venting and location. You're going to get all of this, plus handouts, installation manuals, and all you're required is a pad and pen, and which we'll also provide. You're going to get breakfast and lunch. Okay? Again, I'd like to thank everyone for all of the questions, all the comments, all of the emails. The tool is still available. I'll be getting quite a few more in. I think I finally found someone that will be able to make them at the price that I was looking for. So, but I do have a couple of them left, and thank you for all of you that purchased it. If you haven't received the tool, just email me and we'll look into it and see what happened, and we'll send you another one out. Alrighty? Okay, YouTube. You all have a safe and productive week, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.